So U.S. intelligence officials allege a conservative financial website, Zero Hedge, is amplifying Kremlin propaganda. Zero Hedge, which boasts 1.2 million followers on Twitter, has been accused of publishing articles created by Moscow-controlled media. Of course, there's going to say, well, if you have anything that is against what the Biden administration is saying, then you are obviously controlled by Russia, right? Well, the AP allowed anonymous U.S. officials to make the call, anonymous, right, and admitted the alleged association is not based on any direct links. So they don't actually have any evidence of this. Zero Hedge responded to the allegations by publishing an article that reads, "Well, now we've done it. We've angered the CIA, and for what? For publishing views that challenge the conventional narrative, such as disputing that an invasion of Ukraine is actually imminent, as the U.S. State Department and its mainstream media conduits repeat day after day, or that the COVID virus was actually created in a Chinese lab." They continued saying, of course, there's no actual accusation that Zero Hedge works directly with anyone tied to Russia or its intelligence apparatus. As the AP admits, officials did not say whether they thought Zero Hedge knew of any links to spy agencies and did not allege direct links between the website and Russia, which is correct because, and we will repeat this once and again for the record and for all future similar hit piece attempts to smear us, this website has never worked, collaborated, or cooperated with Russia, nor are there any links to spy or any other agencies. Instead, all the AP notes citing some unnamed intelligent officials is what they said. So, yeah, just smear your enemies, right? They're either racist or they're Russians. Zero Hedge says the officials were unhappy about the guest posts that were on the site about Ukraine from the Strategic Culture Foundation, which U.S. intelligence officials allege, again, so they're alleging that this Strategic Cultural Foundation takes direction from the SVR, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. So they allege this without any information, but they say, we know you are actually working with the Russians. And so then anybody you contact must be working with the Russians because you're working with the Russians. So the Biden administration sanctioned the foundation last year for allegedly taking part in Russia's interference in the 2020 U.S. election. Did they have evidence of it? Recent articles listed as authored by the foundation and published by Zero Hedge include the headlines, "NATO sliding towards war against Russia in Ukraine," "Americans need a conspiracy theory they can all agree on," and "Theater of Absurd, Pentagon demands Russia explain troops on Russian soil." So if you go to Zero Hedge's Twitter account now and click on the link to their website from their bio, there's now this warning label. Here's the warning label. There it is. Here's this warning label that Twitter put on the link to their website saying it may be spammy or unsafe. Yeah, so really unsafe for you to go and look at a website because you might read something that you agree with that goes against the narrative. And then what? That is unsafe. That is unsafe because you need to be agreeing with Biden no matter what. And you cannot hear alternative viewpoints. You cannot hear other information. And even if those guest posts did come from Russian SVR, if it did come from the Russian government, shouldn't you be allowed to hear what the Russian government has to say about what Biden's claiming? Shouldn't we hear both sides? I mean, Biden is sitting there saying Russia's going to go to war, Russia's going to invade. Well, I would like to hear what the Russians have to say too. That I feel like is my right as an American if I'm going to be funding this war and potentially sending off some of my family members to it. Right? I mean, wouldn't I want to know what Putin has to say? Why is that considered dangerous? Oh, you can't hear that. You can't hear what they have to say. You can only hear us and that's it. So, of course, the left is not coming to the defense of this site. They're the ones trying to take down the site. You know, how dare this site promote any anti-war rhetoric and engage in free speech in some kind? So, of course, here we are, in an alternative universe for many of us. Tucker Carlson is the one who has to come to the site's defense. Let's go ahead and watch.
How long before they try the same thing with Joe Biden's many other critics in the media, all of whom, we can tell you firsthand, have also been accused of working for Vladimir Putin? And when that does happen, when these voices are silenced, what will we call it then? CNN will, of course, describe it as a necessary national security measure, but it's not that. It's tyranny.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that we are living in a time period where the left, liberals, are not actually coming to the defense of Zero Hedge. Now, I know some of you are going to say, no, Kim, liberals are not the left. The left is something different. And right, I get it. But look, I've had this discussion with many people before. You don't get to decide your label, unfortunately. Other people get to decide. The majority gets to decide the label. So you might call yourself a leftist, and you might be anti-war. You might be for a variety of things that traditionally people on the left claimed to be for. But when the label gets co-opted by everybody else who is pro-war, and you continue to say, no, I'm the left, they're not the real left, I just think you've lost that. I think you just have to relabel yourself, unfortunately. Otherwise, you get lumped in with those who are now pro-war leftist, pro-authoritarian, pro-government, pro-obey or else, right? That is what the left has become. And so, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's not this particular conversation we're having right now. I'm just putting it out there that I think, rethink it. So now you've got Tucker Carlson. He is coming to the defense of the Zero Hedge, which I read a lot of Zero Hedge and stuff that comes from them. They have a very anti-establishment bent. They have a very populist bent. They're anti-war, right? They want to try to get the truth out there. They're very skeptical of the Fed. They're skeptical of the narratives. The COVID narrative, of course, they've been very much skeptical of. And so they're labeled as Russian, apparently, right-wing racist, I'm sure. And Tucker Carlson comes to their defense. Where is the left on all of this? Where are the liberals on all of this? Why are they remaining mum? Why are they, no, you need to be pro-war with Russia or you're not a liberal. You need to be pro all of these authoritative mandates or you're not a liberal. You're not really, truly in the right. You're not in the moral right. That is what they have now. They've now co-opted they've picked up the torch and they're now running with it, the morality torch of this is what we believe. And if you don't agree with it, then you're an immoral, horrible, deplorable human being. And you're a Russian and a racist. So that is where we're at with this, is that Zero Hedge, without any evidence, is being labeled as a Russian asset of some kind. It's sort of like when Hillary Clinton called Tulsi Gabbard a Russian asset. They label everybody Russian assets. I've been called one too. Everybody's been called one. If you go against the narrative, you're a Russian asset. So I guess Russia's got a lot of great assets. Right? I don't know. I mean, this is just insane. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your comments. You can also, by emailing me, kim@kimiverson.com. You can follow this show, depending on, I'm sure you're watching it on one of these platforms, but this show is available on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, and of course, I also have my locals community, so be sure to check it out. That is where I do casual live streams, post stuff about my life. Everybody posts about things that they're finding. It's very interesting information being shared there in my wonderful locals community, so be sure to check it out. That link is either down below or up in the corner, depending on where you're watching. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon, very soon.